name is Emilio, and welcome to Narrative Design Masterclass, Game Writing Essentials. In this course, we're going to be taking a look at the roles of a narrative designer and pretty much all the different tasks and things they need to understand in order to effectively write out a game from start to finish. And some of these sections are going to be very intense and heavy in terms of understanding, everything that goes into designing specifically for certain genres as well. So these are about 8 sections in this entire course. The first one, we're going to be taking a look at Introduction to Narrative Design. Now in this section, we'll be taking a look at what is a narrative designer, understanding all the fundamentals that go into writing, and grasp a deep comprehension of plot theory. We'll also look at game genres, player archetypes, mechanics, clarity in writing, and much more. The next one we'll talk about is concept, pitch. So here we look at how to generate and cultivate ideas from their initial inception to writing out a full-blown pitch document. This section allows you to create your concept that will be pushed throughout the entire course. World building. Now this is my favorite section because here we will look at the intricacies of building a full-scale world from nothing. We'll talk about climate, mood, setting, who inhabits it, fantasy, science fiction, and more. Basically, starting from nothing and designing our world completely to really bring it to life. Next section is character. Now, in this section, we flesh out our main protagonist and give him a sense of purpose in our newly created world. Now, this will allow us to see which of the main 4 types the player character is. And through that, we can create and understand how the player psychology and character types will go along with other characters in our game as well. And we'll also talk about diversity in games, something that is a hot topic right now, and something that as a narrative designer you should understand thoroughly well, because a lot of times narrative designers have the misconception that there's tropes that should go along with certain diversity groups, which is not always the case. But in this section, we'll be taking a look at everything there is to really develop and flesh out a full-fledged character so that it could be a memorable one. Story. Now, this section is dedicated to player agency and giving the player a sense of purpose throughout the entire game and respecting their choices. So here we'll take a critical look at linear, non-linear, and open world games and their perspective on player agency. And our player agency is pretty much respecting a player's choice. So let's say the player decides to jump up and down and they break their leg. Well, then their leg is broken for an extended period of time throughout the entire game. So the decision to jump allowed them to break their leg. Something like that. That's what player agency is. And in this lecture, we're going to look at how that implicates with story. So players' decisions inside the game. How, as a narrative designer, your role is to make sure that you respect their choices. In the next section, we have dialogue. Now, here we will look at dialogue and the importance it has in representations of certain games. We'll look at how to write dialogue, and we'll look at how to incorporate the three main types and incorporate cutscenes into the game as well. We'll see how dialogue could be used as a full-fledged game mechanic as well, and as a writer, it's important to understand how dialogue works in order to showcase to the player certain cinematics or certain cutscenes to the best of their ability. In the next lecture, we'll be bringing it all together. So, this section brings all previous sections together to understand the fundamentals of narrative design. So we're pretty much going to have a better understanding of how each section works together, and we'll be able to design ourselves our own documents, our own narrative design documents, full-fledged after we created pretty much each section on our own. And in the last section, which is the bonus one, breaking into the game industry as a narrative designer. So in this bonus section, we'll take a look at what the tools are needed for narrative designers' disposal to break into the industry and start their careers right after finishing this course. And that's really what it comes down to. This course, why it's special, is because we try to give everything that you guys need to understand in this amount of time, so that once you guys are ready to become professional narrative designers, you have all this knowledge at your disposal. And this course really comes down to allowing you to come back and understand certain aspects of narrative design, certain things about world building, characters, story, dialogue, everything that is essential in game writing today. And that's it, guys, for this little intro video, and I'll see you in the next one.